Yes, we're going to keep the ball again!
The debate started early.
I've missed you, lads. Continue that argument now.
No, we'll keep it.
Well, lively.
How are you? All right? Missed you a lot.
It was quite...
I've been no well for 3 weeks.
Are you?
Aye, fucked.
Just a 3?
Can't shake it off.
No.
How is
That's
it,
a
mate?
joke coming out.
No, I've no. But this year's going to be a massive year for me.
How is
Evolution in me. I'm going to
Bigger
change it
than
up.
last year? You had a big
I
year
wasn't, no, I
last
didn't
year.
have a big... It was a bad year for me last year, wasn't it?
a few shockers, wasn't there? There was a few shockers last year.
Too busy with
Breaking
wild
a
thing,
good
weren't
time.
they?
Aye. No, this is going to be a big year for us all now.
What about the Red Indian?
Like it. Broke back now. Like this. Christmas
Who you in the
present,
mountain
mate.
with? Who you in the mountain with?
Oh, who am I getting off with?
Aye.
Tom Boyd done it. Kev, how are you? Good Christmas?
yeah, I
Look like you've overdosed on turkey.
I did, aye. Turkey for 4.
No, you actually didn't. I thought you'd be
No,
bigger, eh?
you're looking good.
Aye, bigger, I feel bigger. I've got a 3-day hit to Aviemore the one. I'm going on holiday for 3 days to Aviemore, skiing.
You were unlucky in the dance last night.
I know.
Why have you shaved the goatee? No, the big German.
Big German, I know.
German. Except was a belter. Did you not see me playing Van Gerwen? See the wee Belgian with the tash?
Van de Berg.
You was doing my head in that
Oh,
wee guy.
Aye, same.
Mate, what about the boy...
Robbie Nielsen's Van Gerwen though, isn't he?
What about the boy the night before with the headphones?
Oh, Del
He's a
Lyle.
hero.
Looks like
He's
Del,
my
doesn't he? Wee
favourite, mate.
Gerwen.
Del
Aye.
Lyle.
You
Yeah,
don't
my
like him,
favourite.
do you know?
Nah, he's a wee
Guess
prick.
the price? Oh, he's the best to watch. So. He's really good.
Played with Glasgow Warriors, didn't he?
Did he?
Aye, rugby.
Sure,
Aye,
he's a rugby
wee
player,
rugby
I seen
player.
that.
How was your Christmas? Good?
Good, mate, quiet, aye. Class not having a game on Boxing Day, to be fair. But then it's 28, so you still can't really do much.
Turkey's horrible.
Crap,
Turkey?
mate.
Turkey's disgusting.
Mine's just lovely, mate.
Was it?
Aye,
It's
cooked properly.
No, it's cooked.
Here, love the Susan.
Aye.
What'd you have for dessert on Christmas Day?
Wee carrot cake, man.
Carrot cake?
Aye.
Viennetta, no? No.
We had pavlova.
Oh, fucking hell.
Pavlova's nice, mate.
We had pavlova, profiteroles,
Oh,
fruit
profiteroles.
salad, and there was another option. There was about 4
What
or
was it you
5.
said your father-in-law kept doing the profiteroles?
I was out of order for him.
Steady was
She never put him up there.
No, profiteroles were class.
Who did you hate Christmas Day with, ma?
Aye. My
How is
mum,
she?
Robbie. It's good, mate, aye. What you guys say?
No.
What's New Year, so what, for you on New Year's resolution, what have you set for yourself?
I'm not getting steaming anymore.
Not getting drunk, mate, are you?
Nah, not getting drunk anymore.
I don't do any.
Do you know? No. Why is that then?
I don't know.
Just not into that? No.
Plus, I don't. You don't stick to it anyway. I don't stick to When it. do you ever stick to a New Year's resolution for a full year?
Going to move out my ma's house.
Thought you had a penthouse in the West End.
No, I'll move out my ma's house.
You say what?
Hey,
Move into my dad's. We need to do a sponsor.
God, then this has all been brought to you by.
Grosvenor Sport, it's the same offer as every other year. It's double the odds for new signers with your first £10 bet. Sign up at gsport.com/open
Super.
code.
What did you get? Did you get any good presents?
I did actually get some good clothes, to be fair. Did get some nice clothes.
For Jelly?
Jelly, aye. But then I always buzz off getting socks and boxers for.
So do I. I'm right.
Tell you what.
Oh, let's see them.
Christmas.
Let's see them.
I only got a brand new 5 pair of Next, didn't I?
Next.
Aye,
She
Next.
hates you, mate.
No, Next are fine.
She hates you. Next.
Aye, they were decent.
Can I see
Can
them?
you see them?
Aye, they're right. I think they're in there. Have we got Next on the day, ain't we?
Oh, it's an nappy?
Mate, what, are they white?
Oh no.
No,
standard.
Next.
New belt as well.
No, that's just
That's been wrapped into her.
that used to get to the. That used to get to the 4th hole. We're now in the last hole.
I thought something else there.
My two wee boys, that's their first year getting full 6 sets of links. Yours the same, my house is fucking stinking of links
Brilliant,
Africa.
Africa.
Your ma wears links Africa.
Like she loves Links Africa, man. She get that
Harry's,
flat 50.
Harry's got George Best aftershave.
George Best?
Aye, for the, it just says George Best in the box, and then fucking Danny's got an Adidas aftershave set. The two of them are scooting about 8 and 11 years old with aftershave on. Get a few birds spraying that, mate.
That's not George Best after she.
I don't know, it just must be an old set. You've got somewhere. he the tennis net at the back now, ain't you?
And the new goals.
I look good, to be fair.
Mate, see, because they still, don't know, they believe in Santa, so we had to wait till they went to bed, which was about fucking 12:30 at night. It was pissing down the rain.
we were the same.
So I was like, get the goals into the living room, we'll build them, mate. See when we took them down, they're basically fucking 11-a-side goals, mate. So they wouldn't fit to build them in the living room. So I'm outside at 1:30 in the morning, mate, pissing rain, building fucking 7-a-side goals. So I'm there for about I'm the worst at DIY, mate, right? I'm out there for about 2 hours. It's like 2:30. And then the nets are lying, I'm like, fucking nets, man, I'm not putting them on. So I just put the goals built, we put the nets on. They're like, why starting not putting the nets on the goals?
Both of you still believe?
Frankie doesn't really, but he's...
Harry,
I'm going
to have the conversation with
What
Harry.
primary is that?
6.
No, I was primary 6.
I know, but my Harry's P7 and Danny's P5 and obviously Tom's P1, but P4, Danny, I'm convinced that Harry needs to be told. Because I didn't want
That's
him
a
going
bit
to
old,
school. I
isn't it?
didn't want him go to rock up to school in the tent and go, what did Santa get you guys?
No, I get
And everybody
cream for
else
that.
just like, I'm going to
You get into secondary?
I got to say it first year.
that'd be a hard time.
Do you not
Santa,
pretend to be Santa to empty your sack or
we were the same, man. My kids went to bed at...
Did you empty your sack over Christmas?
I had a few times. My boys went to bed at 10. And then Danny woke up at 11 and went, Danny, get back to bed, it's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock, Dad, we've slept in. I went, no, it's 11 o'clock at night. And then,
He pushed the bed, didn't he?
fucking try to get to sleep, man. 1 o'clock in the morning, I think, before I got my bed.
What did you get Susan for her Christmas? Seriously?
They jokes.
No,
I'm trying to
what did
think
you
what I
get?
did get.
What did you get your missus? Sorry?
Treadmill.
Treadmill?
Vouchers I got on there. I got vouchers.
It's nothing like tail.
That's heartbreaking.
I've been using it every day. It's brilliant, mate. That was you told us to
Oh, the
get
walking
it.
one?
Aye, the walking
Aye,
one's
that's good to
brilliant.
be fair.
What, you can't run on it?
Eh?
You just walk on it?
It goes to like level 10 or
I
something.
got her
so you
someone
can
else in these
jog,
batteries
but
as well, so she flips between the two.
Class. You must find it difficult to get jelly.
Earrings, I got.
Aye.
Did you?
Chanel,
No,
Gucci.
Cartier.
no.
I've nailed it.
Keep
Cartier.
trying
Dua
if you
Lipa.
are.
Ernest
Dua
Jones.
Lipa.
Ernest Jones.
Ernest Jones.
Yeah, that's really brilliant.
Rob's the Jewellers and the Forge. Right, what did you get your mark? Come on.
Crucifix.
Real life size.
It's a wee one.
Do you not get it? Did she wear a suit this year? Or was it the dad?
The dad came to me with a suit on. Oh, fuck, it's horrible.
Christmas is brilliant, but
No,
I
terrible.
hate- What?
Brutal Christmas.
Best time of year, I hate it when it's done.
Christmas is class. Movies, fucking chocolates. Just sit there and eat.
What
and
kind of
get
movies
fat
were you
as
watching?
fuck. All sorts of movies. All sorts of movies.
How was the farm?
Farmers class.
Was it?
Aye. Farm's the best place ever at Christmas time. Fires on non-stop and it's just free-flowing drink
Same day
constantly.
after Derek.
He's texted me a couple of times.
I've not seen him since Duchess.
He's
Oh,
a
hell,
hero,
Phil.
isn't he?
Ah, brilliant.
What a
He'd
guy,
been
man.
steaming every
Did you
day
do a
at Christmas.
podcast the next day? You did, didn't you?
Aye.
You never turned up? You never turned up?
Yeah.
Was he on? Was
Derek came on,
How is he?
on fire.
He's talking about stealing advent calendars, that's what it was.
He's his granddaughter's advent calendar when he was steaming.
Was there any update on that? Did he manage to get a calendar?
Nah, I don't think he did.
Oh, God.
So,
it's
come on, what did you get at that?
What did I get my dad? Vouchers. H&M.
H&M?
Vouchers, my
Your
dad.
dad
What's
was
your age? Your dad 13?
64.
He shops in H&M?
I just called, I didn't know what else to get you, man.
Oh, you got him that Jack and Victor whiskey that we got,
Jack
yeah.
Victor, I signed it for him.
Aye,
It's good, isn't
that's
it?
a good present. Save it for
He get me nothing.
But you got him that last year as well, because we got
Aye,
a
2
bottle
years
of
ago,
that
get him next year, no?
You like that? That's a good one.
Right, we just watched his game, Celtic Rangers. You would have been...
Changing him?
Oh, so it was on the changing it?
Aye.
Probably like he's watching full.
It goes off about 10 minutes before the warm-up, so I think it was just still... Kyogo had literally just scored just before we went out for the warm-up, so I basically did see the full thing.
What is it, half and half dressing?
Nah, there's not a lot of Celtic fans,
Is
to
there
be
not,
honest.
no?
There's a lot of Hearts fans, though.
It's not no?
So it's quite mixed.
Snoddy,
Snoddy, aye.
aye.
Who else? Boise.
Oh, of course, But Big Xander Clark at Rangers,
Aye.
What about you? Where did you watch it?
In house.
Who were?
Family, fat, or Slinsburn. But am I wrong in saying, Si, that it's a poor standard of game? Am I wrong in saying that?
I would say so.
I thought the quality was quite poor.
Sometimes
Both teams
a lot
getting
of forced
involved in
errors,
a lot,
weren't
weren't there?
Aye.
Maybe
What,
in that
turnovers?
A lot of turnovers of possession.
aye. And I think Morelos got obviously blamed for the first goal, but that's Tavernier's fault all day. He's in control of that ball.
He's got to do better. Morales has made a mistake, but you're still 35 yards, 40
feeling
yards to
that.
goal.
I hate my centre forward being that area of the pitch, mate.
Aye. Nothing comes of that. I'll find
Nothing
it.
ever comes it.
But I thought Celtic started the better team.
Celtic did start the better. Just saying that though, Rangers first 10 seconds, 15 seconds rank into the shot and target, and you're thinking that's what Rangers needed to get off to a good start being at home. And then Celtic kind of creeped out the game because they were better in possession of the ball. It kept the ball moving a bit better. Rangers struggled. But like you said earlier, playing on the diamond against that Celtic midfield is difficult. But Celtic got the goal fortuitously, obviously. But like you say, Tavernier's got to do better.
We've all been there though when you start on the front foot and you've got a game plan and see if a team scores in 4 minutes, you're just shell shocked and everything goes out the window. Because I thought Celtic had definitely had more control of the game in the first half. Definitely the first sort of 25 minutes. I think Rangers had the better chances.
Morelos had
much
that
as
leaders, didn't he?
It was quite easy for Celtic to play it first 15, 20 minutes, wasn't it? The two side midfielders.
Because they were
pulled it
obviously
away.
narrow, they're trying to overload the middle of the pitch,
Yeah.
but I thought Celtic just switched the play really well. And like I said, they never really created
Celtic
much. They
didn't
did a
create
lot of
anything.
control.
No.
But I think that sort of frustrated Rangers, frustrated the crowd. But I'm misleading. I thought there was a lot of enforced errors, just like sloppy passes. I thought it was still a good game to watch, as it always is. But both teams can play better.
What, see the lack of chances, especially for Celtic, because they were dominant in that first 20 minutes. What does that come down to? personnel. O'Reilly maybe off it a wee bit.
I'm sur-
Were you surprised? I was surprised that Abada never started.
I thought, because Babada's been brilliant in all for him.
Yeah.
No, I was surprised at that. I thought Juranovic would have started as well, said the boy Johnson.
Maybe a good thing Juranovic didn't start because he came on.
Done well, didn't he?
He played well, that boy, didn't he? Oof, that's $5 million off his thing.
He's went for getting away to Barcelona to go into Brecon on loan next week.
But is it a case for him to, like, do you want to get injured knowing that you've got a big move coming?
Potentially.
That's what it looked like to me.
He's got an opportunity to move in his career for
This will be his last big transfer when he was
for money
27,
that he'll
28.
never ever experience in his life again. So his mind isn't fully 100% where it
I
should
think that's
be.
what cost it, aye.
But it wasn't even just so much like, I think you associate that with no flying into tackles because you don't want to get injured 50-50s, but like positionally,
No,
like
it was
some of
passing
the
the
positions
ball,
he was
man. They
taking
kept
up
getting the ball
in
away.
possessions, like
Passing ball, getting away, trying to read like that first goal for Rangers. That shouldn't be happening.
No.
Was it Goldson or the goalie kicked it 40 yards?
possession is
But
mad.
in fairness to him, he just went at the centre back into, and he's kind of playing Celtic's high press. He's gambling on going to the fullback.
So should start
And
for- I know,
McGregor's seen that and kicked
ball
it to
travels 60 yards,
so, yeah.
I know, but the ball's travelled a hell of a long time. Surely your first option is if he's on, say he drops inside 10 yards and he's on Sakala, if he does, he could still make up most of that ground and the rest of the team shuffle over, no?
But I just think Celtic press like I don't think the press like the
no,
pitch.
I
He's
know, but-
gambling on I'm going to go to the full back and
It just felt
Starfield
like the
comes
ball was
across
in
to
there for
Sakala.
ages, didn't it? It just felt like it was in for ages.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to be fair to Sakala, he did what he was good at, getting turned and running at people, because I think he's got that in his locker.
So
and
how
then-
did it change? How did the game change if Celtic with that period, 20 minutes, on tap, control it? Where did it then change?
Rangers changed the shape, didn't they?
Like, Rangers
Started to
changed their
happen.
shape, but also changed when Joe Hart decided to fart about in the goal. The ball came back to him, and instead of passing out or clearing up the park, he tried the thing. So what ended up happening was Morelos closed him down, kicked the ball in play, got into, I think it was Kamara. Kamara set it for Ryan Kent, and Joe
He's got
Hart's
to
made-
score that.
Well,
So Ken Jank, yeah. Do you think it's a great save now?
no, because
It's a good
what-
save, but he doesn't catch it properly.
No.
It's a P-roll into the corner.
he's
For
got
me,
to be bending
score.
that like round the post to come in, whereas he's kind of like bent it inside the post, and that's what's allowed Hart to get it. So for that opportunity, Rangers nearly getting a goal equaliser, it's then gave the crowd a lift, and then Rangers have slowly got themselves back on top and had a few chances from like corners, which I think Morelos has got to score the first header.
I think the second one's
Only
worse.
second,
The
aye.
second one, I think he gave a free kick.
Did he?
No,
I
he
don't
I think he
get
gave a
it.
free kick for a push.
No, he never.
Did he not give a free kick?
No, Juranovic- it was
See when
Juranovic,
that
wasn't it?
Joe Hart far weeks again, I was obviously arguing with people that I was watching the game with. Joe Hart needs to stop. That's the way Andrew's asking him to play. Look.
I know, but I still think
know,
he
but
needs to make a decision quicker.
But then I didn't think there was a lot of options for him when the ball
So then
gets
just
rolled back
go
to
then,
go.
you know what I mean? So you
yeah.
can't get caught darling.
But you can't just let that one incident affect the rest of the game.
But it did though.
I was going to ask you that because I was sitting watching at the time. Have you ever played in one of these games where maybe user on top or Celtic are on top and it just takes one thing and the game completely turns?
Aye, definitely. I think that's just a momentum shift in it, and I think especially with being at home with a home crowd, there's nothing that Old Firm fans react to better in their games as a tackle or a block or a high press that leads to a chance. And I think that was a bit of momentum shift. That's what I talked about with the first goal though. You could see that Rangers wanted to start on the front foot and be bright, but Celtic scored after 4 minutes, after a decent start, and then that's it. They're shell shot for the next 10-15 minutes, and Celtic just pop it a bit unopposed, nobody near them. So I agree with Kev. I do think that was a bit of a turning point in the first half, but there was definitely a change of shape in the second half.
Yeah.
Because Sakala definitely played more on the right hand side. He looked more like a front three.
Kent went into played
I thought he
two
sort of,
with Morelos.
he sort of like floated a bit, drifted out wide, but coming in to take pockets. But I think Rangers will be disappointed. I think they deserved to win the game in the base of the chances that they had. But I think it's a good point for Celtic. I think
great point.
everyone fancied Celtic to win the game. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But Celtic would have took a point before.
Well, we were training the morning of the game, and somebody says to me, "No, it'll be a canter for Celtic," and I said, "No, never."
I thought with me, I thought it was going to be just based on the performances as Bale's come in. The results have been excellent, but the performances haven't been great. That's not due to him; that's more on the players. So I thought that was going to carry on into this game, but I thought Rangers were really good, especially the
I think under Beale, because especially under Gerrard, I used to ask you about it. Rangers were really good off the ball under Gerrard and Beale, and I seen that again yesterday, especially second half.
See, the thing is as well, right, I see a lot of people criticising Beale about how they go 2-1 up and they've made subs to sit in. I mean, Walter Smith's the best Rangers manager I've ever seen. I seen him do that every single firm, every single big game, every European game. The second goal, Rangers have 9 players in the box. Celtic have 4.
It's a couple
and
of
it forced a
ricochets and all,
Celtic player to score a goal. Like, yeah, you can't blame a manager for that.
No.
Like, of course you're going to try and hold on to get a 3 points. And he actually said it, which I've said 100 times, and we've all been there. There's no instruction for the side, right, we're sitting in, we're camping in.
It just naturally happens.
It just naturally happens when you're holding on to a result in a big game that you then sit in. I think both goals, and I think you can say that with every goal, but both goals for Rangers' point of view are so cheap to give away. Because like I said, you've got 9 players in the box, and I know it's a ricochet, and obviously there's a bit of a luck factor to fault to Kyogo, but you've got to be defending the situation better with 5 minutes to go.
They didn't have a bench up though, Rangers did. They Celtic bringing on.
I bet you see
Celtic's 5 players that are bringing on, mate.
Do you think Celtic should have brought on players a bit earlier? Like I said, they brought on Giacomakis Jota with 15 to go. The first two subs are more, I wouldn't say negative, but bringing on like Moy.
Moy was good, wasn't he?
Aye, because he kicks the ball, gets his Celtic possessions. If he struggles, he managed to win himself a free kick and stuff, but never really loses possession of the ball. And who was the other? Abada was the first two subs.
I thought Jota would have come on earlier.
Jota and Giacomakis should have been the first two coming on, because I think that gives you a different option. You see when Giacomakis came on, Celtic were able to then find balls in the channel, and he's bullying people, holding the ball up, gets Celtic up the park. Well, they didn't have that in the first kind of like that middle part of the game.
I know that they lost control a wee bit today, but what I found strange was Maeda was getting a better at Tav all day in the first 25 minutes. I don't think he touched the ball for the next 30, 35 minutes.
Stop gaining it.
And I know it probably came with having a little bit less of possession, but I thought that was an area that we're going to just...
But you said...
He still fucked with SWG3 media, wasn't it? That's what it was, man.
I thought Carter Vickers was Celtic's best player again.
He's outstanding.
Mate, what about his strength when he thing with Scott Wright?
Even the one he runs back
the tackle and Tillman. Aye. That goes in, it's game over.
Yep.
He should die, but he still does very well to recover. Because he is, at that point in time when Kit's got the ball, he's 2v1. Starfelt's 15 yards away, he's already got, I think, Sakala on the right hand side. Like Carter Vickers got that 2v1 situation. The fact he gets back to make the block in the first place is...
Morelos is still, he's not fit.
No, he's not fit.
No, shut your whole fat boy. That is brilliant. I know just because it's just funny, innit?
That's what he says, wasn't it?
Shut your whole fat boy.
They need...
The Rangers don't have a... Was Kovac on the bench?
Aye, just made it, aye.
I think he's been out for a few weeks, hasn't he?
Rangers need to either... I don't know what they do with Morelos. Do you pull him out the firing line and get him fit? Or do you keep persevering with him? I don't know, because for me, I thought Rangers were a man down when playing.
Well, what's Beale been in for? No, longer than that, because he got the break. But so how many weeks?
3-4 weeks? No, he's had the break, so 18th of December at the World Cup final, so he was in before that, so we're talking...
So you think Morelos should be in...
I think that's been a month now.
Maybe a month.
Should be better shape than that.
Beale will be, like, you know him, will he accept players being in that shape? No.
Nah. But see, for the last 5 games, Morelos the only striker they've had.
Yeah. So he's had to play, that's what I'm saying, but long term, will he'll not accept that?
Nah, I don't think so. But for me, it was... Because I think there's been... A lot's been said, Alfredo Morelos, no firm games where his goal record's no great, misses chances, but I think some of his best performances have came in their games. But I thought yesterday, I think so many of Rangers' attacks broke down him, taking a loose touch or a poor pass. And see, to be fair, I do think there's been an upturn in his performances under Michael Beale. I think he has been a bit better, but yesterday he wasn't at it.
We played a Celtic v Rangers game the day of the morning of the...
What have seen you play?
I was terrible, wasn't I?
Couldn't believe it.
Was that fear of coming back? I played the pressure
again, aye. It's all haunted you, innit?
I will say, I'm not going to name names. Somebody, because everyone had to pick either an old Celtic player or an old... Somebody went Kev Kyle on the Rangers team.
Did they? Aye. Superb.
They picked me, no?
By the way...
No, they didn't pick you.
Cookie was George Albert's, wasn't he?
Cookie was Albert. Big Jim Lowe went up front with John Hartson.
He was brilliant, Jim Lowe.
He was decent, wasn't he?
I couldn't believe you. I was thinking you were going to drag us for the... Because I was Martin Neal at the side. I was watching at the side.
I was Paul McStay. But I played like with fucking Willie McStay.
Who won?
Rangers won by 2, I think.
It was a batter.
We were 4 down. We got back to 4 each, and then they won. I think it was 6-4 at finish.
That was some game.
I think it's always a bad idea doing Rangers v Celtic.
There's always a ball here for each other.
Oh, young be old and all.
We did it at every station, young.
Oh, the old boys. We're fucking... Mate, we're miles ahead.
Mate, I'm not just saying this. I said 2023, I know it's a couple of hours, but he put in one of the greatest training sessions I have ever witnessed in my life.
You say this every week?
No, I've never seen a training before.
What do we play? The 3 15-minute games?
Oh, I've done 3 15-minute games.
Did you wear boots or trainers?
Trainers.
Mate, this was a joke, nothing I've ever seen before.
You're the best trainer I've ever seen in trainers.
How can
you play New Balance?
He was
balanced tennis trainers.
What, out of this world?
So why is no play sailor? They didn't have centre midfielder in that
No,
team.
it's alright in that wee short space, mate, but over a big...
But why not? You're 34 years old,
35 next week.
Oh,
manager, didn't I?
35, you could sit in that midfield, no problem.
Anyway, VAR. Let's go through it. What would you want to start with?
Let's start with Kev.
Kev doesn't think Starfield's a penalty.
I saw a TikTok last night. I slowed down there.
What, you just sitting watching TikToks?
Convinced them.
I slowed down there.
Who was it, Andrew Tate?
And the fucking...
He's done, he's jailed.
He's away.
The slower it done, he actually... I don't want to touch him.
He does,
He
mate.
puts his foot. It's almost like Sakala puts his foot in. It's a penalty. He's dived in and got the ball
You
in it.
can't slide and no touch on the box.
It's a penalty.
You're
For
running
me,
the
it's
risk
a
of a penalty.
But big boy, you said it wasn't a pen.
I know, but
That's bizarre, that, my boy,
I don't know what
doing
he's
that.
saying because it's 100% a penalty. If you slide in
Aye.
Sakala's landing spot, was that you putting a chin?
Mate, what was that you had done?
Can't he think?
And he
was
stands on him.
That
at
was one
start.
taking a quiz.
Striptease, wasn't it?
But I think we'll get on to the real controversial one with the second one with Goldson. I actually read the day, right? Now, I think I've been very consistent with the handball situation. I think it's a shambles. I generally don't understand it.
Yeah.
And for me, when I seen the replay, straight away I thought, this is going to the monitor and this is going to get overturned.
Definitely.
But then the rules say the day that because his hands are covering his face,
But when they're
and
covering
if
his,
it
I
doesn't
thought,
hit his hand,
there?
well, this is what they said.
Uh-huh.
If it doesn't hit his hand, it's going to hit his face, so that means it's no a penalty.
I thought his hands were there.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I thought he was doing that.
No, because they say that's not him naturally making his body bigger.
Bigger.
But I don't understand the handball rule. Never have.
The thing I couldn't understand is why he never went over to the monitor.
Why did you not go and look?
Andy Walker was.
They said, but that's what they said. They said it's because of that rule. But that was what was that? Nicky Devlin.
It's a penalty, yeah.
Nicky
So
Devlin
many of them
twice.
giving me a hanging
It's a
penalty.
penalty
Under the
because
rules, I think it's
he's
a
come out
penalty.
to block
I'm the same,
a
I hate the
shot
rule.
and his hands have went up like that and it's hit his hand further up in the air. So how can that no be? I know the shot wasn't going
so
in.
close though, isn't it?
Listen, I think if Celtic got the penalty, you would feel harshly done by, but at the same time, if you look at some of the penalties that, was it Dundee United got a penalty at Parkhead for heading the ball?
And I hit Burnaby. But then again, Ricky Lamy got one against him for the exact same thing yesterday as well.
And then, I don't know, there's so
Andy
many.
Walker was fuming with him.
He was.
Wasn't he?
Go
Yeah.
and check them on, John.
Even
Check him
McCoy's, even,
Tom Boyd just texting Andy Walker, make me a case about that.
even McCoy's was like, he couldn't understand why they didn't go and check the monitor. When McCoy's was saying that, I thought even he thinks.
Andy Walker gets a wee bit of confidence in these games, doesn't he? He's always trying to pull McCoy stuff.
I can say that win every game.
He's quite funny, Andy Walker.
He's not the worst.
Yes, he's starting to become the superstar of the media, isn't he?
Free-handed.
Andy.
But I think
Didn't
there's been about 50 penalties been given for handball this season. Yeah. And I've no agreed with about 90% of them, which is why I thought
You're just
they're
looking for
definitely going to go to the
consistency.
monitor for this.
Consistency, but they're not
That
getting
needs
it.
to change, doesn't it, in the
Because if
summer?
you think of Andy's game yesterday, that penalty decision took fucking nearly 13 minutes or something.
7.5 minutes,
Was
I
that
think.
what it was? And it felt like an eternity watching it because even as soon as Hearts TV, I've obviously subscribed to Hearts TV, hit the show, I could tell straight away that
Must you pay a month for Hearts TV?
I get a discount because used to play it's $5.99 for me. So the ball came in and he's dived and saved it with his hand and it was clear as mud straight away. But
Clear
it
as
took
mud?
Clear as
7.5
mud's not very
minutes.
clear.
Clear as mud.
Well, clear as day, what do you want to call it?
Brilliant.
Clear as mud, is that not how it? Clear as mud on that?
What's not clear?
Is that not a saying? No. I'm not saying it's clear, but there's a saying with clear as mud. Somebody help me out here.
But I think clear as mud means it's no clear. Do you know
Is
what
that
I mean?
what it is?
so.
Couldn't they give a
Right, so anyway.
Start the years you've been to gone, boys.
That's it.
Exactly.
Right, anyway, so the point is that they're taking too long and it's too...
I like it all.
I thought over the World Cup it was the one thing that the SFA were going to change was a handball rule mid-season because they done it in the Premier League, didn't they? They've changed the handball rule and I thought they'd do the same here.
What do you make of Alistair Johnson's debut?
I thought he was good, to be fair.
Done quite well, didn't he?
I don't think, me personally, I don't think he got the inverted fullbacks.
No, I don't think that's his game. He wants
But
to
yeah,
ball
it'll
on.
take time for him to get used to it.
I thought defensively he was pretty sound to be fair.
Apart from Kent's goal, he's dangled a leg out. You have to stop the shot.
Got to
Can't
show him
he's
down the
left.
line. Got to show him down the line.
But I think more as it goes on, he'll get better.
No, 100%. It's hard to get me first come in, isn't it? My God.
Was it quite a defensive lineup for you, putting Forrest and Mida as the two wide players?
I thought Maida was
But
really
he's
good, to be
predominantly in
fair.
the team for his work rate, isn't he? Where you think if you're going, Celtic have been brilliant this year when their wide players are getting up.
What would you have changed?
The
I just
Forest
played
didn't
Abada.
Abada, are you playing?
As soon as Abada comes on, he gets a chance, doesn't he?
And what about Mida? Would you can
No, for me, I'd have played Jota.
I think
But again, I don't get to see
I
enough.
think Jota's not well. I think he's not played, didn't he? No? I think that's why he made
Again, I know what you said about he put in a great cross, but when Jota beats Tab, he's then looking to play people.
Play through.
He's looking to
That's
play
what
that
creates
killer
that
pass
goal.
in
You'd be bad having you.
I know, for me, what do you call him? James has probably played because of his experience in those types of games, probably over the course and distance, maybe but looked at how Rangers have scored goals recently. And there's been a lot of balls going into the box from Barisic, maybe as he thought if I put James in, does he give me more
cover.
going the other way, cover?
But even when Abada comes on, the second goal comes for it because Barisic is so scared of Abada at the back post, he actually fucking drops 3 yards deeper than the rest of the back and it leaves that space for For Kyogo.
That goal, that
Sorry for White,
that equaliser for Celtic's so avoidable.
Aye.
Should Jack be a bit stronger in the tackle now?
Jack's got, I think when it's sent through and who is it that's turned to cross it, and it's went through Jack's legs, I think at that point that's where it needs to be stopped.
I think Kamara's position as well, because Kamara's at the edge of the box. I think when the ball gets to the touchline as a midfielder, you've got to sink to your penalty spot, because you're the one that's going to influence that one.
And I think that would be where Celtic would look back in the game and think, with Jota coming on, he only had a couple of runs at the players, but he nearly created something every time he did that, whereas in the first half it didn't quite happen like that. It didn't look like an attacking threat, Celtic. It just looked like we'll keep the ball and we'll kind of hope that we get something, because O'Reilly, I don't know what's happened to him, but he was really poor. He was really, really poor.
Big man's he's gone a wee bit, isn't it?
I think Abada was definitely the one that surprised me the most at no point. His record, no firm games, scored a good few, isn't he?
What about Jota's Tash? Definitely watches this, didn't he? He's copied it.
Yes.
I think so.
Copied the side.
What do you see for Rangers?
Did you get gel for your Christmas?
His hair's looking good now, isn't it? It's growing well, mate.
What style is that you're going for? Billy Mitchell?
No grown in yet still.
Happy with Andy, happy with it.
Aye.
Good job, that, mate.
Did Robbie Nielsen go to the same place?
Is he hit this
He's
yet?
done.
What, has he just shaved his nut?
Aye.
He went early, innit, mate?
Why?
Don't know.
Is he going to get it done?
I can't air dirty laundry, can I? I don't know. I actually don't know, but I'm guessing he would have.
I quite like it. It looks harder, I think.
He does look hard, doesn't he? Aye, he does.
What about Rangers? Where do you think they'll recruit?
Well, Michael Beale said yesterday that he wants 2 or 3. I think a midfielder 100%. I think a right winger 100%.
See, we centre mid, Andy. What type of centre mid? Creative one.
Aye, I think so.
Aye, they've got too many
Dogs.
Too many similar Lundstrom, Jack,
5-yard players kind of good at
they're
the ball 5
they'll
yards.
keep the ball moving, but nobody's going to penetrate you with us.
But is Arfield that player? I thought wee Scotty must have felt hard done by not getting
Scotty's more like a late man, a late run.
Scotty also scored 2 against Aberdeen, brilliant then, but he started the next game and was a wee bit quieter. So maybe that more of an impact coming on off the bench at maybe at this point in his career. But for me, like, he is still. I think it all depends on the style how Rangers played. Does Scotty Arfield fit into that? But no, I like to see he probably would.
I was wanting to ask you as well. See, on Beale, obviously he's changed kind of the mentality character, but Rangers kicked every ball for a goal kick. Will that be Michael Beale's long term? You want to play, won't he?
Mm-hmm. They played a couple, to be fair.
Did they, right?
But I don't
majority
know.
was kicked.
I'd imagine a lot of it will be he'll try and build up. I don't know what the reason was. I actually thought
he cut Celtic's press out.
I actually thought early on, I thought Golson chose to hit that one in behind or a diag a few times as well. So I don't know if that was
just a tactic because it was
at the
against
start
Celtic.
of the game. I don't know. I actually watched the cut. It came up on social media yesterday. The cut where I don't know if it was Neil Lennon when Celtic got a kick off at Ibrox and Odsonne Edouard just smashed it
in the
corner flag. And stuff like that is a sort of message in it. It's as if we're playing in your half for the first 15, 20 minutes or something like that. So I don't know if that was.
So what about centre half, I think, for Rangers?
Ben Davis done well.
It's just whether he's going to stay fit.
The thing is with the centre half position is they've actually got 6. This is no fit. Do you know what I mean? So can you go and get one of them and then they're getting 2, 3 centre halves back?
What's the deal with like some of Highlanders? He like long-term injuries.
I just can't see him, mate. He's been injured for that long now. It seems to me as if he's just not going to come back.
Trying to sign the boy Faze for Leicester. Did you see his performance?
He's match fixing
him. Mate, what about that?
Is that the boy who scored the 2 own goals?
No, the second goal's a fucking farce, mate.
He's meant that.
I can't believe Carragher says I can't do much about the second. How no?
Mate,
he just volleyed the ball into the roof of the net.
Did you see the second half plan? But they break. Or put the ball in the channel and he chases it and kicks the bottom there and the guy runs full goal. Carried it on.
I know, I did see it. I know what you're talking about.
It's up there.
That was up there, wasn't it?
I genuinely thought that guy was David Luiz.
Mate, where did he go him for?
Fuck, he's Belgian, isn't he?
He's also even never played football before in his life.
It was a shocker, wasn't it?
Oof.
Imagine Darwin Núñez had an English passport.
Mate.
How much he'd get slaughtered.
Remember we used to talk about strikers that hate scoring? It's Darwin Núñez, mate.
But if he's English, mate, he gets slaughtered every week. Because he's Uruguayan. He's playing well. He got man of the match against Aston Villa for missing 8 sitters and making 4 completed passes in 90 minutes. He got man of the match.
Where does it leave Rangers in?
Nah, I don't think Rangers come in the league.
No, I don't think so either.
But I just can't see Celtic dropping that amount of points.
But they've done well though, and Beale, since he's came in.
Definitely, I agree.
Beale would come in there to come in and somebody say, right, you win your first 4 games, albeit no great performances, and you get a draw with Celtic at home when you possibly could have won the game. I think the Rangers fans would have took that and seen that as a...
He speaks really well.
As a exciting going forward. I think they'll continue. I think they'll improve. They are improving slowly. Still, some of the games they look a bit suspect, but I think if he gets a few players in January, but listen, that was a big opportunity for Rangers to close the gap to 6 points. If he goes to 6 points, remember when Rangers were this time last year when Celtic won the league, Rangers were so many points ahead and then Celtic clawed it back and people think, oh no, they're nobody to claw it back because they've no lost. And then
He's just won so many games with Celtic.
but whereas Celtic
Crazy.
although they didn't perform to the levels they have been playing recently yesterday, they'll look at that and say, a one-off and get back to pumping teams again. Because
I think that's why sometimes they feel worse though.
Aye.
Because they'll look at it and think, I know Rangers didn't play great, but they will look at it and think like, Celtic never really played well. They've had how many shots on target they
I
have?
don't think they had that many.
2, I think Celtic had 2 shots.
Yeah,
2 shots.
two shots on
goals.
target and they've got a draw.
I know.
So it's like sometimes that does feel a bit worse.
What has he changed? Like I said, I didn't get to see Rangers a lot. The games that I have watched, kind of, was it Aberdeen, Hibs, even the football's not been great under Bale. So what is it? Just the mentality that he's changed? What, the
think
There's
it's
definitely been a mentality shift, but I
Intensity.
definitely would say intensity in terms of and the team being more front foot. I think bodies in the box and a
I
bit
think
more
personnel
attacking.
as well. He's stuck with the same group of players, like bringing Kamara in from out the cold and basically just saying to him, you're playing and I want to get you back to those levels. And I think it's just a time for them all to get back to those levels. And I think once you have that same, well, you know what it's like, Simon, if you have the same group of players on your part every week, it becomes a wee bit easier for you.
100%.
So I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the same group of players on every week so they're on. Then if it's a case of taking one off, one comes on just to continue that role. Whereas for too long, Rangers have had to bring in him to pull him out, and that's...
They need a couple of transfer windows.
Aye, definitely.
Yeah, of course.
Boydie's been saying that for a while. The next 2 transfer windows for Rangers are huge. And he's right. He's absolutely right, because the next 2 takes them forward. If they get them wrong, they're only going to fall behind.
I think as well, what was Celtic's winning run there?
Was it 12 games?
12 games.
Aye.
What was the last game?
It's the 2nd of January, they've signed 3 players.
Aye.
They've already
always
recruited 3 players already.
I know.
They're lined up, they've came in, they're there to obviously improve the squad. They could then lose a Juranovic. What did they pay for Juranovic? 4 million?
2 million,
Five?
right?
2
2
million. You're going to sell him for God knows what. There's going to be a lot of profit.
Yep.
And then they brought in a ready-made replacement already, so they're doing good business. But for me, that's what Rangers need to do. Over
See, on the last bit on
couple of transfer
Juranovic, they put him on at left back, obviously being a right back, when Bernabe, is it Bernabe?
But he's played there before. I've seen people
I know,
saying that
but-
it was maybe, but he's played
I know,
there
but
before and done fine.
His
with it.
debut for
The
Celtic
left
against
back,
Rangers was left back.
Aye, but he was just... I think he
Some
just,
of it's not right.
aye, but anyway.
I couldn't play in that game. Couldn't play. I see after like half an hour, 40 minutes, and Rangers were getting the ball away, the fans were going nuts at the players. I couldn't handle that. Did you struggle with that ever? In the games?
I get the ball away all the time.
Just struggle with it.
I get the ball away every week.
That's mad, isn't it? It's mad though at the clubs.
I think of the was it Boness? That's more hostile than Old Firm, mate.
Because you can actually hear everything.
Every single
No,
person.
but that was aggressive fact when you gave the ball away yesterday.
Would you say that affected your performance on the side at Bonus?
100%. You can't think clearly. You can't think clearly. You're good.
That's been my favourite part of every documentary so far. When you scored that third and the full bench just ran over the fans.
That's fucking
amazing.
That is brilliant.
The abuse has calmed down a wee bit. It's they kind of see the places like Bonus and Trinent. Oh,
If they've been waiting for 5 years to get you.
Trinent's the worst I've had, mate.
It's never
I
been
thought
in
there was a right good crowd that
It was
game
decent,
the other
wasn't it?
day.
It was a good crowd, it was.
It's if they've been in a cage for 5 years waiting for you,
Just
innit?
waiting for
and
you,
they just
mate.
unleash them.
I actually never realised how much people hate us until we started
Do you know
this.
who-
fucking
do you know-
thing.
Things at an all-time
Do you know
low,
who
innit?
hates us
Oh
the
my
most?
God, man.
You know who hates us the most? I've
missus.
said this twice, East Stirling. See, their fans.
Oh, they hate us, mate. Ah,
Fucking
get
hell,
their
man.
fans,
They
yeah.
just constantly shout, we fucking hate podcasts.
No, we hate you. I heard somebody say, I fucking hate you.
No, but they see the one Trinent, but that was that group of boys who were right back. It did not stop, did it? No?
The full 45 second half, mate.
You
It's on me for the
you're getting
full 40.
sacked and that was one of the worst
That was,
I've heard. I was like, no, you're not.
That's
You're doing all right.
You said you like Michael Beale the way he speaks.
Love it. I sat with the laptop and the telly and the two switch.
What was it on the laptop?
Oh, that was not Gary. So I had
You got windscreen wipers on your laptop, didn't you?
clean the muck out. So I'd be on the be on the laptop and Ange on the telly, had the press conference either side, so I played them in either to see it, and I think Beale speaks very, very well. Really like him. I was unsure Andy after Aberdeen when they won, and I didn't like his reaction. I said he should have been running down when the players gone mental, but you can see why now he's doing that.
Because look at the flip side of that. Jim Goodwin looked devastated after that
And
game.
look at what's
and
had
look
to-
what's happened since.
I know.
I heard
calm head,
Michael
Danny,
Beale went
fucking-
mental in the changing room after the game.
See, at the time I reacted on it, I didn't like it. I'm now seeing what I do like it, because he's not going to accept the performances at Rangers. By the way, Aberdeen, what's
I'm
happening
gonna
to them?
come to them,
Going to come to them, but I really like Beale, Si. I really, really like him. Whether
I think Ange's defo smoking weed or something like that.
I mean, look like his son last night, Clemens.
He just like
Did that boy?
robots. Were just
Big man's always got a cough, isn't he?
He's always got a husky voice, isn't he?
clear on the
Sexy.
throat. Clear on the throat.
He's brilliant.
Who did you say last night?
See the big boy Clemens, he actually looked like Andy Strand.
No, that's Big Al for Toy Story. Clemens.
Isn't it Al's toy bar? That's what we said as well.
Big Al's toys.
That's Delisle with the head defender.
Brilliant, but innit?
Did you see your dad's not started wearing them with your mother? When he's doing it. The noise defender. Cancel the noise.
They two haven't been at it. See boxing, he might need to start wearing them. He's put in the positions.
Right, Hearts Hibs. Boy's flying, isn't he?
Any young kid, I want you to watch Cammy Devlin with the pressing he gets for that first goal.
Passing,
but any other kid, don't watch it for the Hibs defender.
What is he doing?
Because
he's a manager, right? And all Lee Johnson's like, what can you do about that guy doing that?
It's Lee Johnson's fault. He's just put that boy on. It's just like a fish out of water.
But he should.
No.
But that, I don't care if listen, I know maybe he's only on the team. I don't care if you've played football one day 8 but what you just done.
But mate, he's not even like put his body in to stop it. He's just kind of just fucking.
On you go.
I think because Cammy Devlin's slid to block it and he's on the floor. I don't know if he thinks he's still on the floor because he doesn't really have a awareness of where Cammy is after that, does he? So I don't know if he just thinks he's still on the deck. I'm shooting it.
It's brilliant for Cammy Devlin, but at the same time for Lee Johnson.
Hats are flying, doesn't it? Need to say it. Xander Clark fulfilled every Celtic fan's dream yesterday, didn't it? Punched him in the fucking head. How is it? All right?
It's all right. Aye.
What was it? Coming for a?
I was that. No.
I think he was a wee bit about too much, you know.
I was a wee bit dizzy, but I wasn't like.
I
generally did feel alright after it.
GMS was people 999, didn't he? GMS was panicking.
Lynn was watching it, and Lynn says he's seriously not going off for that. I went, honestly,
really?
She went.
She doesn't think he's much out of it.
Not even touched him. He's got to the byline. He's ready to come back on, and they went, no, you're coming off. Take him off.
GMS had a first aid kit in his boot. Is that right?
Aye.
You ran it.
He was scared for me. We GMS gave me a lift home, but said they couldn't drive.
No, you can't drive, Andy. No way. No fucking way. You're not doing it.
Actually, we man took me up the road, but
he'd stop it. He'd be the type that'd stop after 15 minutes, wouldn't it? Get a glass. You're all right.
I'm going to go get a glass of water.
How did you not go?
I'd forgot it was at home. I thought it was at Easter Road, so I just put it onto the Hearts TV and watched it on. It was
Easter Road's
a good game.
Couple of weeks.
I'll tell you what, Hearts are a shoe in for third, and they'll only improve because players are coming back. Like yesterday, I thought the boy Humphries, when he started games, was very good, but he's coming on as a sub. Shows you the strength.
He's a big bad boy, isn't he?
Mate, he's decent, and then obviously just with the Snoddy. If there's ever an example of how to just keep the ball, watch that guy.
Even on the highlights,
looking, and he's getting annoyed with players for no trusting just to pass that 5-yard ball.
Do you know what I thought was brilliant? Because it was a highlight on Sports Scene. I always say it to our boys, he's always moving. Even when he's centre mid, the one where McKirdy's kind of, he's still moving 2 yards to try and make another angle to get on the ball. It's brilliant, mate.
He's already
there's other players would just stand and watch their centre back step in, but he's moving to get
it. He played a triangle, I think, in the first half. It might have been, I don't know if you might have been involved in it, Andy, where he was annoyed at not getting the ball the first time to give it to the right back, but what he did was went back to the centre half and then he moved 2 yards away and then he eventually got it and I thought, like, it's just simple
stuff,
it's just keeping. He's already seen the second and the third pass before he even receives the first pass, and I just think you've got somebody like that in the midfield with experience that you have, because you've got good experience. Like Shankland up front.
He's
becoming an icon, isn't he, Shankland?
Captain,
flying.
And then I've got to give the goalie
15
credit.
this season.
Got to give the goalie credit because Xander Clark decided to leave St Johnstone last year and wait forever to get a move. Was he fortunate enough to get a move to Hearts because of the time it took? Possibly, in a way. But to then sit and be a number 2 to Craig Gordon, who would never be shifted and like feel really sorry for Big Craig, the injury he got and stuff. But he's been fortunate enough to get an opportunity, and he made a good save the other night there against somebody, and then some of the saves he made yesterday were really important because had Hibs got a goal, they would have had the momentum thinking we'll get an equaliser. And I think the importance of having good squad is huge for Hearts, and Hearts are just on a different level now, I think, compared to what we are. Hibs, as a derby, they're both in the same city, but Hibs are miles off.
Is the fans getting sick of Lee Johnson?
They have to be.
I don't
So I think if you look at the results,
but look at the players, Kev.
I know, but that's
when I look at the two, Hearts have got miles better players than Hibs. What's Lee Johnson? Why does he?
Hibs still have good players. Sorry.
So do Hibs say who's again? I didn't get to see.
I like Cadden.
Cadden's good. I like Cadden.
Right back. I thought Aidan McGeady, when he came on,
he should
have started the game. I thought he was good. You've got Boyle, who's obviously injured the most. Nisbet was very quiet, but Nisbet's quiet because of the lack of service he gets. The boy McCurdy, saying nothing. He was woeful. He's obviously had a good...
Who else is good?
Joe Neal's a good player.
Joe Neal's a good player. The
boy George Campbell's apparently been
decent. They've got
but good enough players to be challenging for third.
Not say challenge for third, but challenge for better than where they are now, Simon. They've lost.
Simon?
I think they've lost like I think there's like maybe in the last like 9 or 10 games, I think they've like lost 7 or 8. That's not good enough.
But you look at Hearts, every position is a good player.
How's recruitment?
And the bench are good players.
Brilliant, honestly.
Aberdeen, just same. I look at Aberdeen squad, I think they're all good players.
I don't think, see what I will say is right, and I don't think that our squad and this coaching staff have had enough credit for the injuries we've had have derailed every team in Scotland 100%. Outside maybe the Old Firm.
Yep, no, you agree.
And I think people would expect it to derail us as well, because I mean, we had like 11 players injured at times.
Yeah.
Basically a full 11, especially when you look at Craig is obviously your number one goalie. And the fact that we're obviously third, because I think what was it, 4 points behind before the World Cup break. So we knew that obviously the start of obviously for the period we came back for the World Cup was going to be important, and we've got 10 points at the first 4 games. So
what a job he's done.
I've always had confidence in our squad, our players, and how well we could do. But I think with the injuries we've had and Europe, I think we've done very, very well to be where we are.
So what? Hibs just going to go and sack another manager?
He keeps talking about needing to get to the transfer window, right? And I would agree with that.
Every transfer window is a shambles.
He hasn't had a transfer window, would I be right in saying that?
His players?
Somebody got
Did he get the first one?
I signed lots, did he know? But I don't know if it's him signing him or not.
Aye. Is it no something to do with is the chairman's son got something to do with it?
The chairman's sons.
So for me, there maybe needs to be more of a reshuffle in the backroom staff of Hibs, rather than maybe looking at to sack a manager all the time. There's obviously whispers are going around that he's meeting the chairman today. It could be he's away, but do you trust him to go and buy more players and turn it around, or do you take a chance on somebody else?
Is Lee Johnson buying the players?
Yeah, well, that's what we're
so that's always going to be your method. Then how do you?
You're saying that, like, obviously I think Hibs do have good players, and Aberdeen's got good players, and Hearts have got good players. How is it that Robbie Nielsen gets the best out of the Hearts, but Jim Goodwin and Lee Johnson kind of get the best out of Hibs and Aberdeen at the minute?
I think Dundee United they've got better players than Hibs. There you go.
But has the break been good to Dundee United? I think the break's helped Dundee United massively, because they've came back, they've drew away Hearts, and they beat St Johnstone, and they beat Ross County comfortably. Mm-hmm. So the break's been good for them. They've obviously went away and worked on things that they've needed to work on, and they've now got a group of players coming. And I would agree with you.
But again, you were saying about the good players. You never once had all the good players on the pitch at once. So you never had Boyle, Nisbet, McGeady on the pitch at the same time.
But then yesterday you're talking about.
When I look at Hibs teams over the last 5-6 weeks.
Yesterday, out of the 3 you've just mentioned, they had 2 of them on. He could have had 2 of them on for the starting line. I think like yesterday was somebody like with McGeady's experience and the career that he's had. He's a tricky winger who will get by players, and if he can't get by them, he'll use his knowledge and his know how to get round. Because I think the second half when he came on doing that left hand side, he won a free kick, he won a couple of corners, created opportunities, and I thought, why is he no starting?
I'd play him central, Aidan. 10.
Like
just let him float a bit.
What did you make of the game? Sorry, mate. I think
similar to what I said about the Rangers Celtic game, how Rangers game plan came out, early goal sort of changes that shell shocked. I thought that was quite similar to the game yesterday, because I thought Hibs started the better in the sort of first 5 minutes. Then we get that goal for our first sort of real attack, and then after that I thought we were in sort of complete control of the first half. And then again, you talk about momentum shifts. That one with Cammy tries to play back, that Ewan goes through. If he scores that, it could then change again. But Toby's, that's an unbelievable tackle. Yeah. I know you can say obviously Ewan's maybe took
too long,
an extra touch or too long, but recovery tackle for Toby's unbelievable. And I think for the first half, we could probably look at it and think we probably could have been in 3, maybe 4 with some of the chances we had. But then second half, got you credit to Hibs, to be fair, they've came out, had more of the ball, more territory, more chances, but I think we've done enough to then see out the game. And
you love Big Toby, don't you?
Brilliant. He's outstanding, that boy. What a tackle and all.
That is some tackle.
He should have shot though, but good on him.
He's off the park.
A lot of people gave up there and just let him shoot, but he didn't.
Is he your favourite, Big Toby?
No, my favourite, but I certainly like it, Biggie.
Where did you play left half? 4 midfield?
Left wing back.
Left wing back.
Left of a 3-5-2 sort of type.
3-5-2, aye. Hibs were more like a 4-4-2, I thought, yesterday.
Yep.
Because Carden was like a right winger. Mm-hmm. And McCurdy and Nisbet are more like a front 2. So I think that sort of surprised as well, because they've been more 4-2-3-1 or something different. But listen, I think we deserve to win the game. I do think Hibs definitely came into it more in the second half, but I think over even the basis of chances. Sanders made a
how is Zander in training?
Good, mate, very good. He's
tall, aye. Is he tall?
He's massive.
I know
he's got more clean looking since he's went to
tidy cell.
That's because Davidson wanted him to be a washer, didn't he?
Dirty, aye. He's let him go now, isn't he?
Is he? Like, I'm not going to say is he Craig Gordon standard, but is he not far off that sort
Aye,
of level?
well,
I think?
Great guy to bring
Like
in.
I say, it's like you've got Scotland international as your number 2. You know what I mean? It just sums up sort of where our squad depth is in the moment, which is a big thing going into this season. You're talking about how good Tarts' recruitment has been.
Amazing.
That was the big thing that we wanted to achieve this season, was our squad depth, obviously with Europe and the games we've had. And with the injuries we've got and the injuries we've had throughout the season, now big Craigie, you look at the players and personnel we're still be able to put on the pitch. So a lot of credit's got to go to
Hearts won't
Hearts
need
out
to
of the
recruit in
recruiting.
the window, do you think? They'll not need to recruit.
I think maybe probably
trying to
one
get
or
a
two
goalie.
because the injuries more than anything. Because I think if everyone's fit, I mean our squad's very good, but we've still even now got Craig Halkett's obviously out for the season now. Craigie's obviously out for the season now. Boyce and
centre-back,
Benny
maybe.
have obviously had cruciate injuries. So we've still actually got like quite a lot
There's
of
actually a
injuries.
huge opportunity for Xander Clark here to be Scotland's number 1, eh?
Well, he is
Because
our
you think
number 1 for the
so
season.
Craigie Gordon
minimum.
was number 1, and then there's obviously David Marshall.
Liam Kelly's good as well, isn't he?
Liam Kelly.
Great season at Motherwell.
Shanklin's got to get back into the
Shankland
national
gets back,
setup.
it has to be.
the
He's got,
form
that's at 13 goals.
18 all competitions, 15 in the league.
15 in the league.
What do you think of strikers, captains?
Lead
Didn't
by
really speak a
example.
lot in SWG, didn't you know?
No, he was
He's a captain.
sponsored
I've had a
silence,
bit of
isn't
banter
he?
with him about
Now you
that.
caned him for that,
Because he
didn't
is lively in the dressing room.
Is he?
He's
Has
funny,
he got
funny
a bit?
boy.
Aye.
Yeah, he's got a bit.
Was he, aye?
I seen him at
What was that
Trans, but he
sponsor
was...
silence you done it? It's
But-
SWG3 then?
That's weird, that, wasn't it?
Listen, when your captain's scoring goals, it's
Is GMS fit or is he?
I thought you would have been
No,
captain.
he's broke his foot, didn't he? And he's still feeling it.
You
so-
man still struggling with it?
Aye. Feel for him, man.
I thought you would have been the captain.
I know,
Natural.
or him or Snoddy, I thought.
Aye, natural, just
I
to
thought
pass. You've
Snoddy-
got
I'd
life sussed.
have thought Snoddy or Shanks.
Ain't you? He's got life sussed. Ain't he?
Think?
I always think it when I think
Talk
of
us
him.
through it.
I don't know, just
in what way?
your life's just fucking. Mate, honestly, I'm the.
Can I just say something to
life
it? He just said you've got your, but then he looked at your hair and I think you had
That
a wee
was
bit
the
of
only
doubt.
thing. That's probably the only thing that sets you back. But honestly, I am shite at life. I
Oh,
don't
you're
get.
no, mate,
no,
you're
man,
fine.
I'm
How
crap
you
at-
looking well, mate? You look like you're...
No, I don't mean appearance wise, but just everything you need to deal with as an adult, mate.
You had a shower today?
Bath.
Did you?
You never really washes a bath, do you?
I mean, I love a bath, but I never have one.
Do you wash your... So this is what I want to ask you about a bath. Do you wash your face in the bath after you've washed your body?
Aye.
You dip your head into
And
that?
then time myself how long I can last. But I'm going to go for a bath every day now in the new year. That's my New Year's resolution.
But have a bath all year?
One bath a day.
No, you'll know.
And I
Mate, see when I go in a bath, I come out and I'm still fucking sweating. I need to jump in the shower.
Aye.
No, but I go in the bath when there's before any water, so I'm sitting freezing, and then the water comes in, and
So you sit naked in an empty tub?
And
You
then-
are
and I time it
you
for-
are Jeffrey Dahmer, man.
and I time it for 3 minutes, so I can get cold, freezing, and then hit the hot water on,
But do you have your bath roasting?
boiling hot,
Oh, fuck
and you come out and you're about to faint, when you're like busy.
fuck that, mate.
I can't do that.
I can't mind the last time I fitted in a bath.
Nah,
I don't do baths.
there's that.
Life, mate, life's fucking tough, innit?
Life's tough, mate,
I was sitting there at Jack writing things down and thinking, I'm fucked up everything in life.
Was the
mate.
podcast one of them?
No, the podcast is a strong thing, actually.
Oh, is it right? Fuck.
What's happened to the Open Goal
Everyone else must
FC?
be fucked in.
What's happened to the Open Goal FC podcast?
No, what's happening?
He's got to shut down, innit?
Fucked it,
We
man.
must be coming back, have we?
No, I fucked it that bad. See, that guy
I
can't
was
keep
enjoying
doing
it,
things
no?
out.
I did it, it was decent, me, man. Enjoyed it.
It's ever since size the team in it. Blame the team.
It's a team,
Which weird thing you do in the house, but nobody knows that people would like to. You would like to let people know about, because that's what I do. I'll go in for it when everything's quiet. I'll go in for a bath.
A naked a bath.
bath
in
in
the
water in it for 30 minutes.
What weird stuff doing in the house?
But I could imagine you doing a few, because you're a bit of a strange guy away with people.
I gotta think it.
Sometimes I see you marching about that between yourself with the beats on.
So the beats,
Fucking-
I like to go for a walk, mate. Huh?
But in the house, what do you do, Kev?
He does some sick shit, man.
My comfort zone in the house
Is the kitchen.
Is the kitchen. Sat in the kitchen and I'll just get myself a wee cup of tea and a couple of biscuits. That's my downtime.
And what do you do? Just sit?
That's no weird.
Look out the
That's
window.
no weird.
That's
It's
every other person
I
does.
just like sometimes when I'm no thinking straight, I just like to go and sit with a wee cup of tea and. Just
I've got
comfort
one.
thing.
Oh,
I've got one
Right,
for you.
what is it?
You'll find this weird. I sleep with AirPods in.
that's fucking bizarre.
Swear to God.
What, podcast?
I can't
Kevin's
sleep.
in it on repeat.
I can't sleep in silence.
Callum Davidson
And
screaming
we don't
at
have a
his
TV
AirPods.
in the bedroom. So I need to put a podcast on or something, bash in AirPods to
We
fall asleep.
take them out when you wait, like,
They'll just naturally fall out. Wow. But I can't
weird,
sleep.
man.
See if the room's silent, I'm trying to sleep, I've got a million thoughts going through my head, so I can't sleep.
What are most of the thoughts?
When's this hell going to grow back? For a start.
It's weird how your mind has these like strange things when you wake. I woke up this morning, went to bed last night 1 o'clock. Woke up this morning at 6 and couldn't think straight. Why
Clear as mud?
I was like, oh, clear as mud. I was just couldn't think straight. I was like sitting thinking, right, why? And then what I then do is, see when I can't sleep, I go to happy places. That's weird. Like I'll go back to like thinking maybe like the first time I made my debut or something. I'll go back to happy places.
First time you seen Niall Quinn naked.
Aye, and it's weird. But then
end up having to get up for a wank. Push your seat back and a half an hour.
Do you ever do weird shit? I can imagine taxi drivers doing weird shit.
What like?
When you're in your taxi. You know, look at his face, he does weird shit in his taxi.
Aye.
I don't. I've actually had quite a lot of 1-star ratings recently.
Have you?
Aye, Uber.
You can
what reviews?
That's
No,
defo.
you can
Definitely smell it.
It's defo to Trent fans, isn't it?
I've
Say
been,
Trent fans get in the motor.
Uber sent me an email to say that the topic of conversation sometimes isn't to the liking of the customer.
What you
X-rated like?
Because they'll start a conversation because they'll get in the car and I'll go, how we doing guys, alright? Or how we doing girls, whatever it is.
Oh, it's the girls, isn't it? It's the girls that are complaining.
Sometimes
No, it's not the guys, it's the girls.
Then they'll start their conversation.
You're a pervert, man.
I just give my honest opinion, so if they don't like it, they just think, oh, we'll give him a fucking 1-star, didn't like that conversation.
So did they give you any examples of conversations that have been...
Well, I think...
If it's a 1-star review, I don't know if we can talk about it.
No, I was thinking of some of the levels of conversation. I think maybe I shouldn't have said that.
What, is it political or is it...
Just a bit. I'm very opinionated.
Right.
Don't change that, mate.
But I would never change it.
Opinionated's good.
Because see if I think it, that's all that matters. Don't worry about anybody else's opinion on it.
Is there any one of the 1-star reviews that the police could turn up at your door?
Nah.
Any of that sort of chat? Nah.
something like that.
I think you definitely do weird stuff in the house, but you're just not talking about
I'm never really in the house, mate.
Do you ever try
I
Steve's Glaze on,
I hate sitting in the house myself.
Do you ever try Steve's Glaze on ever?
It'd be too big for me, Steph's Glaze, mate. She's about 6'2" and I'm 5 fucking thing. What other weird stuff do I do?
See, before we get back onto the football here, I want to just get a wee...
I love sleeping. I sleep on the couch most nights.
Do you?
Love it, mate.
Is that through choice?
I like to watch the telly. She likes to go to sleep. I like to watch
Try-
the
I've
you
slept
watch
on the
it?
couch a few times just almost by accident. If I was just sitting watching something, I fall asleep.
Hibs, so... Well, Jake, you'll keep his job.
After his interview, it was strange if he was talking.
No, wait, if you start coming for the board then...
Aye, I think he's maybe wanting it now. Could be wrong, but at Disney, that's no a healthy place to be working.
Who's a good fit for Hibs? Somebody like Michael O'Neill who played and
I think Kevin
managed-
Lenny. Get Lenny
Mike
back
O'Neill
in,
just
man.
signed a 5-year deal.
No,
Kevin, did he?
Kevin
I didn't realise
Thompson,
that, sorry.
Kevin
Kev Thompson could be. That's a good shout.
We've linked him with every
Every
job.
job.
I'm still trying to get my job.
He deserves to go back home, doesn't he?
He's not
Lenny?
getting the sack.
I think
Johnson not
you
getting
jump
the
at a
sack.
chance with Lenny or Tomo, definitely.
I'd like to see Lenny
Tell
back
me
in.
you saw that Scott Parker's got the job at Club Brugge.
And they're Champions League in the last 16.
Champions League.
Brilliant.
Seen that.
Lads, have you seen that at half time? I don't know. We don't want to make it a basketball game, lads. Oh, brilliant. Lenny, Kevin Thompson. Well, it's hard to say he's still got his job, but is that how you'd like to see Kevin Thompson if it's
He's not
Get all
getting the
Lenny,
sack.
I think
not
Lenny.
getting sacked? Well, there is rumours today on Twitter that it's coming out.
Is it?
I think Lenny would be brilliant. I think Lenny. Sometimes you hear people maybe.
He's trying to be like Lenny, wasn't he? He was out the night before the game, wasn't he, Lee Johnson?
Aye, seen that? Is that true?
Full of snag. Full of snus.
Mad that, ain't it?
Where was he in a pub in Edinburgh?
Supposed taking pictures with Hearts fans, I get told.
Was he?
I don't know, mate. That could be complete shite, but if you're doing that, it's to me, you're trying to get out.
But see, if you're up here yourself, right, and his wife's down the road and he's got nothing to do and he's went out for something to eat and a couple of glasses of wine, is that bad?
Knows if he's playing in the morning.
Exactly.
He set his team up the day before, he's done all the preparation, all he's doing the next day is a team talk.
Could Big Sam Ardis know he like 10 pints a fortnight
He
before the
gets sacked
game?
by England because it, didn't he?
No,
Richard Keys wants him as the Man City defensive coach, so doesn't
How
he?
good is that?
Amazing. Lee Johnson now, side note, Craig Gordon, double Ibrox, how is he?
Fine, mate. Fine as it can be, I suppose.
Horrible,
But, what is the big man's 40? So
Is he 40, is he?
Aye,
Horrible.
So it's not a great
Still
time to
great,
get
didn't he?
a double leg break, but he's
been
just
in,
one of
hasn't
the guys that you do feel as if he's got to recover for it. Because I think before that leg break, I think his contract runs out, no this season, but the end of next season. I think he's still got it in his head and at the level he's playing it, think, I can still go on more. But this is God's honest truth. He just broke his leg. Obviously, the penalty's been given against him, and the first thing he's did while lying on the floor with a broken leg, shouting at the ref, that's not a penalty. Genuinely. Because I ran over and he's shouting at the ref, that's never a penalty.
That's
That make
brilliant,
your
that.
legs
Does he
hanging
not shout
out.
there, does that go? Remember?
I tell you what, he'll be able to get some hours on the snooker.
Oh, hi, he'll be battering that, won't he?
yeah.
Tell your team it's picked up Dundee United,
Aye, hugely.
aren't they?
There's still time for them to... No, I didn't name
I
Dark
think
Horse
it was
last
third.
year.
I
You
think
had
it was
them
third.
that- you had them third.
I'll be honest, I had them down.
No, they've got too much quality in there, and then Big Charlie getting into the coaching and playing is. I mean, that can only be a positive for you. So I think
Definitely.
it'll be good.
Definitely so.
What Levitt's, I mean, we've all spoken about Levitt, and I've heard people talk. He is. I didn't see enough of him, and I keep watching him now. He's brilliant.
He's a
I
good
can't
player,
believe
mate.
Dundee United got him, eh?
He is brilliant, mate.
He's a Welsh internationalist, isn't he?
Aye.
He should be.
He actually should have been playing for Wales in the World Cup. They needed a player like him. And whatever, they played obviously Ramsey and Bale, but
they do like they've changed the mentality, don't you? Like, I watched them defend the last 20 minutes against St Johnstone and they're fucking flinging bodies at...
But that's where they weren't doing that before.
Exactly.
They were too easy or too much of a pushover, whereas now it's like stopping everything at all costs. And when you've got guys like Levitt and obviously Tony Watt up front, you're always going to get an opportunity. It was a great finish by Tony Watt.
Great finish.
Took the ball in, swiveled and turned.
What says that Gordon should give himself a wee bit of distance. I think he needs to get tighter so he can't turn.
And obviously Tony's turned and shot through the legs. If Gordon gets tighter, Tony doesn't get turned.
He doesn't get turned, exactly. That's what I was thinking.
How do you get how do you
force it back?
Listen.
We obviously played against Dundee United a couple of weeks ago, and do you know what? They were very direct, which is what Dundee United really haven't been over the last couple of years or whatever. So I don't know if that is maybe a change they've made over the World Cup, because they see that as the best chance they've got to get results.
It's funny you should see that, because seeing highlights, I seen Liam Fox first half saying to somebody, get it fucking forward quicker.
Aye.
So maybe, but again, there's nothing wrong with that, mate. It's not saying it's not the right way to play, but at least you've got an identity and that's what you're doing. This is how you're playing.
Been sort of struggling to score goals towards the start of the season, so since then, look at the run they've put on. Ross County was 3-0, so they've scored 3 goals and still managed to keep a clean sheet in that game, clean sheet in the St Johnstone game. So I've said it a few times, I think with the squad of players they've got, I just never thought there was going to be any danger that they go down.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not saying the opposite, that they're definitely not going down, but obviously it's...
I think Levitt could play with Celtic Rangers?
No, not yet.
It's hard to say, he's a very good player, so he's obviously got potential.
Is it Man United, don't he?
Is it hard when you play against him?
But like I said, that game's maybe a bit more difficult to say, because they were really direct, and Stephen Fletcher, mate, is unbelievable.
He's the best in the air, mate. The best.
Unbelievable. So
seems to hang.
If you're going to be direct with anyone up front, it's going to be him, innit?
I think they're no danger of going down Dundee United, for me.
Who is it between them, Ross County and Kelly?
Motherwell, I think Motherwell as well will get dragged down.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've got that in my looks. I like Steve Hammer.
They're in a rut.
But they should have won that game yesterday.
I agree. I think Motherwell, they should have beat Livingston.
But they're in a rut.
Because Ricky definitely hit the penalty.
And then
missed it twice.
But this is what I didn't get right. You score a penalty, but then you get penalised because their keepers came off the line early. That makes no sense.
I think it's because they saved it though. Because they still saved the penalty. I agree with you.
Even though you score.
But it's fun.
Nah, that's a shambles. So you're getting punished for them doing the thing.
If you miss, I understand them coming off early and you get the penalty taken again, but if you score...
Mate, Livy, I don't know the stats for this, but Livy have missed some amount of penalties this season, by the way. I can remember
the boy Kelly you got right, didn't you? You said he missed a few.
He missed a few. Kelly and Devlin. You need to get somebody to take them.
Well, Bruce Anderson's on the pitch. Surely you're centre forward.
He's got to be better than him. Need to sort that out quickly.
But what's Motherwell got? 19 points or something? Ross County's got 16.
Ross County are struggling, aren't they?
Kilmarnock's got 20, something like that. There's only and then Dundee United's in there, but Dundee United's got a game in hand. And the thing I worry about Kilmarnock is they've had a couple of games recently that they probably should have won. Like St Mirren got into 10 men. I think they've drew away.
That probably killed Kelly with St Mirren going to 10 men. Because we need to go and do something with the ball. I think that's their game.
So Kilmarnock's fixtures will be a bit more tougher now because they played teams round about them that they were looking to take points off on. They not took as many as they probably like, whereas now they'll probably end up, I think they've got Celtic in January. Celtic could be the next game actually. I think they play Celtic back to back with the Cup and the League. So like, they've got a tough run of games, whereas maybe like Ross County, an opportunity, they might be playing some of the teams round about them. But it's interesting because I think from 6th all the way down to the bottom is only like 5-6 points or something.
Should Hibs be amongst it?
Still Hibs are 7th.
Two in the last 11.
They got 25. No, Hibs have got 25, I think. So there's about 7 or 8 points. But listen, when you're on a bad run of form, Simon, teams start picking up. You're soon dragged into it.
Thanks
By
very
the way,
much, Kevin.
see, to be fair, you've got St Mirren are flying. Got to give credit to them.
10 men, they still created chances as well, mate.
I spoke to somebody against the Livy game and they said that he wasn't impressed by St Mirren.
But St Mirren's home record this season has been a joke. And the amount of clean sheets and lack of goals they've conceded as well.
I tipped St Mirren at the start of the season.
To go down?
No, it did well.
Did you?
Aye.
Don't remember that.
I can't remember that
Makes you
either.
a clip for that.
By the way, no more talk about sleeping there and sleepless nights. Jim Goodwin, how's he sleeping at the moment? Because this has been brutal since he's come back.
For the break.
And the way things work, I mean, sat in against Celtic for so long, we thought we were going to the point of Celtic scored, then the Rangers, but that would have absolutely haunted you.
I know.
And now it looks like he's trying to rejig things, and
just how that all works.
It's hard to, because they went with Duke wide and they put Ramirez backing up with Miovski, didn't they? But again, what kind of manager? I watched the game.
I was going to say that. Like, I think there's games you deserve to be criticised. Every team does, but that Ross County game, man, like, it's so much worse because the run they've went on are 3 defeats or 4 defeats in a row, whatever it is. But I mean, they battered Ross County, the amount of chances they had to score.
And even against Rangers, 95 and 87, like, there's not much a manager can do there.
No, you could play that game the exact same, pan out the Ross County game, the chance to win the game.
Aberdeen will no jump to any crazy ideas, but maybe displays
that guy's a man, isn't he? Is it Cormac?
Aye.
Is there...
Well, I think the fans are booing Saturday, aren't they?
Aye.
He seems to quite like, he listens
Aberdeen
to
have improved massively for last
year. Think so,
definitely. They've definitely improved under Jim Goodwin this season.
And what in terms of what, like, mentality?
Style of play as well for me. Style of play.
Pop it a bit.
I think they've scored more goals than us, no? I'm sure they've scored the third most goals in the league, or maybe we've just overtook them for the goal at the weekend, so they're scoring goals. They've got Miovski, who was joint top goal scorer. He's recruited well. You're talking about teams bringing in a number of players and only 2 or 3 of them in the lineup. Most of Aberdeen's players are players that Jim Goodwin signed in the summer, and they've came in and made an impact. And obviously, the narrative can change when you go 4 or 5 games without a win, obviously, but they've definitely improved for me.
See his interview after the Rangers game. I know it's so tough, but should he have maybe just put on a
I
bit
think
of
you've got to make fans.
You see what you said about Beale going mad in the dressing room. I don't think Ange would have been as content with the performance or the result as he made out after the game.
100%.
No,
I think in the dressing room you're seeing a different guy, but when he comes on the camera, it's
100%.
Aye.
You can't be like as a manager. You're the one that needs to deal with it, and that's a hard time being a manager. But you can't come out and you can see he was deflated.
I think Beale losing his shit, if that's the case. I think I'd probably lost my shit because I've seen that as a big opportunity with like a few minutes to go to lose a goal the way they did. If Celtic's cut you open, then sometimes you hold your hand up and say, fair enough, but it's a goal that could have been stopped. So for me, you're thinking, well, that could have been, we're going now, Celtic's still 9 ahead. It could have been 6. Things are looking a whole lot different, but I don't know. With Jim Goodwin, man, I just think Aberdeen's got so many good players, like the Duke up front, Miovski, create so many opportunities.
I think Rangers' biggest game of the season is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Who they play?
The semi-final against Aberdeen. I think that's their biggest game of the season so far.
where does that get played?
Hampden, wasn't it?
Saturday.
I think there'll be a lot more expectation on Michael Beale and Rangers in the Cups than there will be in the league, because he still took the job when they're 9 points behind. I don't think the expectations for him to then go on and win the league.
Yeah.
But I think there is expectation for them to
win a cup.
But you think Rangers would beat Aberdeen now?
You think so? Aye.
They've lost 2 semi-finals against Aberdeen. I can definitely remember one. Sure, they've lost 2 semi-finals against Aberdeen in the last 5 or 6 years.
Right. What you said about Aberdeen's defence?
Are they quite weak? I seen
Stewart and Scales are, but I think they played a lot of games together.
Against, was it St Mirren? And they looked all over the place, the two of them. McCrory doesn't look like a centre half.
No, I like Stewart the captain, but I think he was suspended for that game, wasn't he?
I think Stewart's better as McCrory's better as like a sitting midfielder in between the back four and the midfield. I think he's better in there because he's physical, he's strong, he gets about the park. But Aberdeen, like they've dropped, like you say, like Celtic and Rangers games, you're 5 minutes away from picking up 4 points. You've ended up picking up none. Put the 4 points to your tally. See, you beat Ross County yesterday. You're sitting third in the league above Hearts.
I think they've got some good players, Aberdeen.
We've got an Aberdeen legend, Jim Layton here. What's the feeling of him?
I think they've got some good players, mate. I think they've recruited well.
Who is good? Is Duke in that good?
I think the goalie's very good.
He is good, the goalie. There's a few eyebrows raised, wasn't it? Joe Lewis got taken out.
Aye, but Miovski, Duke, Coulson, Leighton Clarkson.
Clarkson's great.
Back three, but I think personnel-wise they're still good. I do think they've got some really good players. Aye.
You're doing well, wee Johnny.
Is he still playing with Johnny? Aye.
Johnny's still playing. Still getting up doing that.
What phase is doing now for Leicester?
Can you take your hat off for 2 minutes?
No, mate. It's the worst hair ever. I've not cut it so low. I can't, mate. It's disgusting. I'm not cutting it so low because I've been my bed bound. Oh well.
Are you doing sign great?
Who's been in bed with you? Just yourself?
Just myself.
Should we end on what you think for going into the game tonight?
For our
confident?
Game? I'm confident, mate.
Very, I've got a good feeling.
Good.
Always confident.
Enjoyed the game Saturday.
He's done well.
Calibra's a good team, decent team, doing well.
Enjoyed the game, 3 good goals.
He's doing well, aye. But listen, take each game as it comes, doesn't it?
Got to give credit to your goalkeeper for the saves.
I love that boy. He's brilliant.
Early on to keep the game at 0-0. Great saves, boys.
What was it? One save?
But the rest of them putting bodies on the line side.
Broder's done well.
Putting bodies on the line.
The same kind of
try to keep the ball out of the net was brilliant.
Oh, the double we saved. When
the boy got to the byline and cut it back. But no, good. The night will be a good game. Looking forward to it. East Kilbride. They obviously had a blip there against, who did they lose to?
Cumbernauld Colts.
Did they lose to Cumbernauld Colts? I didn't realise it was Cumbernauld Colts. Did you go and watch it?
No, never.
I thought you would have done.
I think you were training that night.
Oh, right.
What's about Man City? They're all over the place, aren't they?
What about
Arsenal,
Liverpool?
people are. It's
Arsenal what win the league?
win the league because people are thinking it's the same season. It's no, they're not even halfway through yet.
I still think Man City will win it.
They've not played Man City
20 games
twice.
to
They've
go.
not played a lot of the
20
Premiership.
games.
And it's a big ask because what are they now 7 points behind? But
And they've not played a lot of the
Man
hard
City
games.
are easily capable of winning the next 15 games. Easily.
Arsenal are as well, so
There's an argument going about the are Man City a worse team with Haaland in it.
Wow. What about
He-
Liverpool as well?
Mate,
So
Liverpool.
I think
Powder
Klopp's
puff.
struggling it. I think he might need a change in the summer.
Why is he still playing wee Harvey Elliott middle of the pitch? Am I being harsh here?
I like him, to be fair.
Do you?
The
thing that's annoying me is Klopp.
I don't
Klopp's
see a
interviews,
life
man.
after a
He's
good
changed.
player.
Oh, he blames everybody else, mate, doesn't he?
Who?
Klopp.
Aye.
It's moaning about the way Brentford attack set pieces.
I know,
Is that
mate.
the only offensive
Not
foul was
really.
against us and
He's trying to
started
blame
laughing?
that
It's
third
like,
goal. That third goal, nobody touched him.
No.
If your
no,
big,
that's
if your,
never a
if your
foul.
big centre half's getting pushed
Never a
over that
foul.
easy, you're off your head.
Never a foul. How we can say that's a foul, I don't know. Van Dijk off at half time.
I know, mate. But
he?
I think he said he
Said
was
he's got a
struggling. He said he
hamstring.
was,
But I think there's tension between the two.
he's gone a wee bit, isn't he?
There's a bit of tension. I get told that. I get told it was a bit
Do you know
of
what he's
tension.
done a lot this year, right? We're talking about last year, there's debates about whether he's the best defender in the world, but see the one he does where he stands off people all the time, as if it's like
Aye.
enticing them to
then,
run,
come on then.
but they just fucking shoot and score. I've seen there's been so many of them this
Did you
year.
mention the wee guy that left Celtic, got Liverpool, Ben Doak? He came in and
You might be
first
flying him by the
He
way.
is
Flying.
flying. Mate,
What's
this is
a
how
player?
busy I am. I've watched 2 of Liverpool's UEFA Youth League on BT Sport, and he was a joke.
You're trying to get him for 20s, aren't you?
I'm sure one of them was against Rangers or Celtic.
I seen him play against the
It was,
Everton.
it was.
Right?
He was brilliant.
Yeah, it was. They wanted to beat them 3-1.
He was very
Yep.
good.
He
Came
scored the
on,
winner.
came on to Villa, didn't he, the wee man?
And did you see him dummy the
but-
didn't you?
Wee ginger winger I met at the Q Club, I was like, I was spending dope like, he's like, no use.
This is the thing though, right?
Who's that wee ginger
Wee
guy?
Moffat?
Aye, he must have been reaching because he was getting a better move than him.
This is the thing. So see when you talk about Rangers and Celtic, right, how they should be producing more with the size of clubs, the training grounds. That. What can you do when Liverpool come in for a
Celtic lost 2 others to Bayern Munich, didn't they? Barry Hepburn and Liam Morrison.
They're
Nah,
really
you
good.
put that.
Ah, it's poor, like, because people are maybe saying that.
Rangers have lost a few as well over the last few years. Wee boy Didi
man.
Medudi, flying at Man City. Flying. Billy
for
Gilmore
Rangers,
obviously
is he?
when he went to Chelsea. It's like, what can you do when these teams come calling and offer
That's the
them
thing.
crazy money
Liverpool
at
could
their
probably
age?
offer Ben Doak more money a week than Celtic's highest paid player in the first team.
Well, they could. I don't think they would have done it, but they definitely offered them a lot more than Celtic would have. So what can you do? You know what I mean?
Anything else?
Did you ever get a big team coming for you, wee man, when you were? I've asked this before.
There was I got a letter from Bayer Leverkusen, but I don't know.
Oh, God.
I don't know. It was a Bayer Leverkusen badge on it, but it was like it just looked like a punter. It looked like a German fan who wrote a letter wanting me.
It was the big darts player for last night, wasn't it? Clements.
What about you? Any other big teams came in for you? Did Man U know stuff
When I
about you?
was younger,
Somebody's bloated and have told you that.
Aye,
haven't they?
defo.
That's never came. What about you?
Nah. Parma were
I
quite big at the time.
spoke about that. Aye. Anything else to report? Yeah.
Nah.
How's the Kildare? When's the Kildare back?
Oh, Kildare, I fucking basically forgot about them there for 2 weeks.
I'll just have a wee
You're
break.
changing the shape, aren't you?
Don't know what we're going to do, Si. We're going to sevens.
Sevens. What formation are you going to play?
2-3-1.
I need to recruit.
What age group's that?
2014, so
Under
we'll
five.
be 9 this year.
7 side.
So we're moving to sevens. We've got 2 teams of 7
So
at the
talk us through
minute.
your philosophy, 7-a-side, come on.
I'm
2-3-1.
thinking we play 1 at the back.
Right?
We put 3 in the midfield.
Right.
One
And do they two just...
1 at the back. 1 in
Are
front.
you using a goalie?
Aye, obviously goalie.
Uh-huh.
Goalie, 1 at the back, 1 in front of him, 3 along the middle, and 2 up front.
Are you going 2 up? 2 up?
Aye, because if
So
you notice
that's
kids,
8 players.
no 7, 2, 5, 6. Aye, yes. So you're right. You're right.
1-3-2.
1-3-2. Because what I feel is that at that age and at the level we're at, I feel like when the kids are playing football, they all want to chase the ball in the same area. So if the
Love
team's
that.
attacking
Love that.
us, our boys are naturally going to go and just want to get the ball away
Well,
anyway. So I'm thinking, why would you waste somebody at the back? Because if we are better than the teams are playing against, or if we're not, we're going to be attacking. So I have 2 guys.
So are
sitting
you going
at
to
the
play
back.
it for the back, or are you going to go quite long?
No, we'll play it for the
So
back.
who's dropping to make an option for your goalie?
Well, it depends.
Is the one just going to that
depends
side?
at this minute in time who my personnel are. Your boy at this minute in time, right?
He's sitting on the
He
side.
will sit in the midfield because he's the only one that likes to receive. He receives the ball very well. We Levi at the back, nobody can get
he's
it ball
good
off
at
him.
the back.
Then I've got other boys. I've got Evan that can take it on the right, and I'm looking what I'm trying to go to work on. Last year was what I'm about getting touches. This time we're working about touches and how can we get the ball off each other? How can we make it easier to get the ball for your teammate? I think that's what we need to work on. Because it goes from a 5-a-side pitch this side to a 7-a-side pitch.
It's like going for his cock to your cock, isn't it?
It's massive. So we need a couple of players though. So anybody that's
So it's a big transfer window for
anybody
them,
that's in the Cumberland all day, they're looking for their kids in a 2014. Give me a shout, okay?